Hello everyone. If you've come this far and you're willing to listen to me ramble about all the different things this mIRC TwitchTV Edition has, and I'm going to try my best to cover as much as I can, as quickly as I can, because I have a tendency to ramble quite a bit, and this might turn into a half-hour thing. Um, so first things first, I don't think I explained this in the install process. So basically, uh, you type in your Twitch TV username and password. This password never gets stored or saved anywhere, so you don't have to worry about anything. You can look the code if you want. Connect to a different network. I, for example, connect to QuakeNet as well, so I can use that. And if I want to save the connection, it will save the name that I use, and it will try to save, and it will save the channels that I joined. But if some channels take a key or invite or some special way that you have to join, then it probably might not be able to join, but it'll try to. Load streams on Connect. You can watch the stream within the client, and for every channel that you have on the list, you can load up the stream when you connect. I don't have this checked, and that's fine. Show on startup shows this on startup. So let's connect. So for first-time users, you're gonna get this because you don't have any channels that you're gonna join. So just to be prepared, you probably might want to add a channel. So, oops, my primary channel, oh dear, is D9TV, and I'll explain all these. But first, let me tell you the way the sync works. So basically, all of these clients connect to a sync server, and these modes are synced with each other. So if someone turns on excessive caps or kicking for caps, kicking for repeat characters, kicking for non-ASCII characters, and kicking for icon spam, then you will also activate these. And it's pretty standard. I mean, it's just so that everybody is on the same page. Like, why did this person get kicked? It removes any sort of why did this person get kicked? Why did, why are you kicking for repeat characters and I'm not, and so forth. These are all pretty self-explanatory except for icon spam. Icon spam is basically the Twitch TV emotes like Kappa, I don't remember all the other ones, but the global ones. And you need to use quite a bit. I don't remember the exact amount, but it's probably like around 15, 20-ish. So you need to be pretty excessive about it to be kicked, so you don't have to worry about this. These are local settings, though. These don't get synced with each other. So, and I just made this change, this update, because they're pretty user defined. Like if you turn on URL spam, it's dependent on these, which I'll explain in a minute, and they might not always be the same for each person. So I figured since it's not going to be consistent with each other, they shouldn't be synced. So offensive count names, this is dependent on the custom strings. Kicking for URL spam using the custom kick strings, and I'll explain that in a bit, and disable the shared strings, which I'll explain in a little bit, and then just disable modding, period. Safe words. The basic idea for safe words is, let's say you're modding a popular channel, something funny happens, everybody screams in laughter, LOLs get thrown out, and usually the channel gets flooded with LOLs. You'll see LOLs everywhere. But what I've had for quite a while is a flood protection. So if something gets spammed, then it'll pick up on it and it'll just block that word. But what'll also happen is it'll prompt you, should I add this word to the ban list? So like for the duration of the protection, should I be banning this word? And so obviously you don't want to be banning LOL, you don't want to be banning GG hearts. But other things that are obviously an attack of some sort, then you probably might want to ban that. but it's entirely your decision. Um, Custom strings is basically if anybody in chat says anything that matches any of these wildcard strings, they will be timed out. That's basically it. And the URL list is pretty self-explanatory. If you want to ban for URL spam, just click the ones you want to not ban but timeout for, because there's timeout and there's ban, and ban is permanent, timeout is only 10 minutes. So whichever of these are on, then it'll time out for. And randomize user display colors is just randomizing the colors of the chatters. Okay, so let's connect. There we go. And oops. Alrighty. Looks like I'm logged into the broken chat because obviously there's not 998 people, but that's okay. I mopped, so we're good. So, if somebody asked me, give me one good reason why I should use this script, it will be because of something called the shared kick strings, or the shared string list, or whatever you want to call it. But point is, it's shared. And just like the custom strings that I went over before, these are shared globally. And the idea behind this is, say there's a new porn link, a new screamer, a new phishing link, a new advertising link, a virus, something, and it's pretty recognizable that this link or this something should be timed out across the board throughout all Twitch chats, and everybody should know about this, then you can use this. So say you're one of the lucky ones that gets a new link like this one. I've only seen it a couple times in the last few days, and it was pretty new to me, so I added it. And that's pretty much the idea. So if a new link comes up and it's pretty new to you, you really haven't seen it, what you do is you just type out a portion of the link that you know is going to be pretty visible. Like this is pretty much the base of the link, so this would probably be the base of the link. Then you add it, click whatever it is, phishing, porn usually, and then you can add. And this will add, but say something like this. This basically kicks everything, right? And there's some security to it. It won't let you add stuff that's, you know, gonna be disruptive. The server also has some pretty good checks to keep things in line. Like let's say A, B, C. There. This I'm sure is going to kick quite a few people, and if I did things right, it should give me an error. It didn't, so I should probably, yeah, anyway. But let's say you don't want to use this. Let's say somebody did something like this and you recognize it and you see that this is obviously something stupid. So you can unclick this and you won't be kicking for that, right? So this is instant awareness. As soon as a new spam link comes up, you pick up on it, you add it, and instantly everybody across the client who's opted in, that's pretty important, will be kicking for that. And now I have to delete that because that is obviously not something that anybody wants to be kicking for. Alrighty. And that's my number one reason. But this whole console, this whole sync console is pretty much my big number one. You can have a friends list that you can give immunity to, that you won't kick or timeout or ban people that you know, people that you trust. All the options you can also see here. You can see the last sync by and the date. All of these sync settings. You can see the some what time, also what chat, subscribers, and all the other ones, and your local settings. The bans. These will only show up for people for bans that were added through the client, and the same thing with the timeout. So let's say if everybody in your channel uses this client, then you can see all the bans that have been added. And if somebody new shows up and they use this, then the sync server will automatically feed them all the current timeouts and all the current bans. And I don't think, I know we did have some for this channel, but I think I'm on the broken Twitch, so it might not sync. No, it's not going to sync. Okay, because I'm on the broken Twitch. Let's see what's next. Okay, all the menus. So just simple pop-up menus. The chat commands, slow mode on, different time intervals off, and detect. The sync server will try to detect if there's slow mode on or off, subscriber mode on or off, and clear chat. If you are a broadcaster and you're using this on your stream, no, that's okay. You're a broadcaster, you can make mod, you can unmod, you can run commercials as well. Gadgets, you can view the stream, like I said earlier. So you can view the stream. He's not streaming right now, so he's going to give me offline. But for anybody that is streaming, you can view the stream. Voting poll is the basic standard Day 9 TV voting poll, which we don't really use anymore, but it's there for you. Next show is basically a countdown of a show for a set time. I need to add the time, but it's pretty straightforward. You can add the prompt, let's say countdown, and this is without the exclamation, but it says here. So in chat it would be exclamation countdown. So whatever you want to use it for. And if you want to use a custom message like we are on holiday, and you can use custom on, because if custom off, then it's going to try to do the countdown. You can turn it off by having this off, and no daily today as well. But this is going to change. This is kind of something I'm going to leave till later because it's not really that important. But something that is new, triggers, is basically an auto reply for triggers. So say you want donate as a trigger. So anybody that says donate in chat, whatever, it can reply with Nick, and you can use these variables Nick, Chan, date, time, and today, and they're explained here. Nick, comma, visit this web page, and you can add the web page there and add it, and it'll list here. And these are all channel dependent. So this is for Day 9 TV. One more game will have none of them. I'm not opt here. It's me, JP. No. Well, anyway, it won't show up here. This would be empty if I called it from another channel. So it's channel dependent. And what was next? Oh, right. Much like the Twitch. Oh, here we go. Okay, much like the Twitch Flash client, you have the timeout and the ban icon. So one of the best things, and probably my number two reason why you should use this, is because you have this, but when you hover over the timeout and ban icon, the chat will stop. And you won't have to try to play whack-a-mole with the timeout and the ban icon. So that's my number two reason. Oh, also, there's this thing that happens if you spend, I think it's 20 actions in 30 seconds, you basically get IP banned. So to circumvent that, and it's pretty standard, is to implement a queue. So every time you send a command to timeout someone or ban someone, it gets sent into the command queue, and it's I think once every 2 seconds, so you won't have to worry about getting IP banned. And let's say somebody is online that's using this client. One of the things that people don't know is that Twitch does not allow client-to-client messages, so I cannot message myself. Well, okay. I can't message myself, but in this client you can, because of the sync server being the middleman. So you can talk to anybody using this client, and you can ignore them if they're assholes. So basically, this is the message window, and it's pretty cool. I like it because it does this, and it has this little hover action. And also, to bring up that point, some people don't really like the color scheme. So I really didn't want to release this until I had color settings, and this is, and all of these are, everything is, or most everything is customizable, and I don't really want to get into all of these because it's going to take quite a while. Except one of the more important ones is to enforce the default mIRC color scheme, and as soon as you click that, it's going to automatically change. And then from here on out, whenever anybody says anything, it's going to be in the default color scheme. But if you're not insane, you'll keep the white on black color scheme. I already went over view stream, voting poll, next show, triggers, and I guess we're on the last thing, which is send feedback. If there's anything you need, bug, feedback, suggestion, a feature request, or anything other, you can send it. As long as you're connected to the sync server, you can send this, and I'll get it. I'll read it. So I believe that is it for just a broad overview of all the functions, or most of the functions, because you weren't able to see a couple things in action, because stream is kind of slow right now. Nobody's really streaming. It's 3 a.m. here, so that's pretty much it. If you like what you see, then please feel free to use. You can follow me for any updates or anything at Twitter at markyochoa.com. My email is markyochoa@gmail.com. You can get me on Reddit at markyochoa. You can get me on D9TV. Just, there's only one guy that's named Marky, and there's a reason for that, right? Alright. So thank you for downloading this. I hope it serves you well. I'm 100% sure it's going to improve your modding experience. And if you're still with me through, I don't know how much time has been going on, but if you're still with me, this is my philosophy for modding. If you have a bot that's good, that's a good immediate first step for good channel management. Not chat, not Twitch chat, but this is all IRC based, and being on IRC for close to a decade and a half ish, having a bot is your number one in channel management, and chat rooms are actually called channels. And you've probably heard me refer to a lot of things in IRC lingo, but that's number one. But that's cool. A bot is great, but it can't do everything. It doesn't have that human element, and this is what I'm trying to give everybody, that human element to modding chat. So that's it, and thanks.